Hello everyone, I am Tessellating Hexagons, still powering my way through the final 10 songs of Eurovision 2021. Today, it is the turn of Latvia for me to take a closer look at their song, which is, as I'm sure you're all very well aware, Bad Moon Rising by the Creedence Clearwater Revival my mistake. It's Miss Samanta Polakova, better known as her stage name Samanta Tīna, and the song The Moon is Rising. It's presented fully in English, and I dare say it's of a very similar vein to her entry from last year, because Samanta is another instance of an artist being selected last year not happening, and being invited back again this year. So yes, the song is, as I said, fully in English, just like last year, music and lyrics by Samanta, as well as Aminata Savadago, this year also featuring Oskars Uhans, also known as SKVR, Skyver, Skvr, Skvrt. I'm not sure what the origin of that alternative credit name is, but I am aware it exists, so that's something. And you might recognise Aminata as being responsible for, amongst other things, the lyrics of Samanta's entry last year, as well as the production on Latvia's entry in 2016, and everything about the entry in 2015, so we have a bit of a dab hand here, alongside an artist who is no stranger to winning the hearts of the Latvian people in national finals. Put them together, are they a dream team? Well, we'll just have to see. So, this song is definitely an experience. I would say that you can really tell Aminata is involved, but I think that does sell Samanta's involvement short. So let me rephrase. You can really tell that this is a Samanata collab, and I mean that as a compliment to both of them. Say what you will about the end product, but this certainly is its own breed of unique and bold. Whether or not that works is for the individual to decide at the point of reception, but I do have to tip my hat to the dedication here to the vision that they've quite clearly had in making this song. Put another way, this is a weird, off-the-wall piece of eccentricity that oozes with character, and being myself a weird, off-the-wall piece of eccentricity that oozes with character, I feel like I'm something of an authority when I say that that's no bad thing. I can totally see the song splitting opinions, mind you. The stans are definitely going to stan it hardcore because Samanta is absolutely a queen and we stan a queen, but the casual viewer, on the other hand, well, the song isn't incapable of winning people over, I'll say that much. Right then, I want to start with perhaps the least obvious thing for a change. On a surface level, you can look at this song and identify that its goal is to empower, and that's definitely a good thing in its own right. I mean, for real, sing along with it yourself if you like the song. It might well make you feel powerful. What I want to praise on top of that, though, is that it actually does run a bit deeper than just, I have declared myself queen, just go with it. In some cultures, including my native one, the moon and the whole symbolism of, the moon and lunarness is associated with women and femininity and female power. So, honestly, if you want to hold a parade that lifts women up and celebrates female energy, then the rise of a blood moon is actually a symbolically excellent time to do that, just saying. There is a chance, of course, that that whole thing is a complete coincidence, but even if so, it gives the song a lot of identity, as if it didn't already have plenty to begin with. Indeed, lyrically, the song is distinctive in that it takes Samanta's trademark confidence and message of female empowerment and combines it with Aminata's signature use of imagery such as that of the moon, and unites it under a banner that brings together Samanta's taste for trap beats and the like, and Aminata's more unique indie-adjacent soundscapes. It's original, it's distinctive, it's iconic, it's memorable, and there is no mistaking whose it is when you hear it. Judging by what I've seen when presenting this song live, meanwhile, I have to applaud that power is upheld effortlessly. Samanta, just like last year, brings passion, conviction, and a smile that just radiates confidence. She's at home on the stage, and she's in love with being queen of her own song. There's no sense of irony, or self-parody, or isn't this a time? This is so crazy! It's all straight-faced, sincere, she's in charge and she knows it. As a result, it makes the song an incredibly compelling experience. Her backing dancers deserve fair credit as well. The song has a lot of stylized choreography to go with it. From the crown gesture, the whole "not my case," and the whole, the hip swaying and all that. And both Samanta and her squad sell it brilliantly. Where appropriate, there's synchronicity, and where appropriate, there's syncopation, and it all works really very well, further enhancing the impact that the song already has by itself. And, credit where credit is due, it's impressive that Samanta, as a singer, can keep up with all of it live while still hitting the song's very demanding larger notes. There's a lot to be impressed by here, make no mistake. However, there's no getting away from it. This song can very much come across like absolute chaos if you don't have the patience to invest your time into it. There are quite a few different ideas at play here, and if you don't enjoy how they sound, then it can seem like those ideas are at odds with each other, to the point that the song seems to completely derail about halfway through, losing focus and jumping around between concepts seemingly haphazardly. To that end, you might feel that the song is utter madness for all the wrong reasons. Depending on your level of patience, it may come across as try-hard, so to speak, that the whole point of the song is to go, "Hey, look guys, pay attention to me, look at how weird and wacky and unusual I am, please notice me." I doubt that that's the intention of the song, make no mistake. I just recognise that for some people, that can be how it seems to come across, and I want that to be clear. That isn't what the song is trying to do, but that can be how the song looks and sounds to some people. It might stick in your head, but just not in the way that Samanta and co are hoping. Do you see what I mean? Your mileage is gonna vary, is the bottom line here. Now, as for one thing that I personally don't much care for, at about the 2-minute mark in the music video, the music cuts out, the audio fidelity just evaporates, and it's all to place emphasis on the choreography and the sort of the girl power of that particular moment. To me, it comes across as quite possibly the only time in Eurovision history where the oopsie-whoopsie technical fault kind of staging gimmick is hard-baked into the studio mix of the song. Granted, seeing how it was performed live, link in the description, I couldn't identify where that break actually was, so it might just be a music video thing. I hope it is, because if they try to work it into the live performance at the contest proper, or if they include it on the album version of the song, I can kind of only hear it as a weakness that detracts from the experience. And it wouldn't be the first time that's happened between me and a song penned by Aminata, but let's not go back down that road. So, where does that leave me when it comes to scores? I'm inclined towards a high 8 out of 10 at the moment, to be honest. The highs of this song are very high for me, and it's a very enjoyable romp through the collective minds of Samanta and Aminata. But as a result, it is a bit rich, as it were, kind of. Like, that is, I couldn't listen to it on repeat. Gotta have some space between listens to this song, otherwise it will start to grate, perhaps. Am I going to come back to this after the contest happens this year? Yeah. Is it going on my personal playlist? Definitely. Am I going to remember it on the night of the show? Absolutely. So when all's said and done, if everyone has to be divided into Team Yas Latvia or Team No Latvia, then I'm Team Yas, basically. As a juror, though, it's harder to evaluate in a straightforward sort of way. I'll go with a 7 out of 10 for the moment, because 6 out of 10 would definitely feel much too harsh. Samanta brings great vocals to the table, as well as sass, attitude, charisma, and confidence, which helps the song to shine in the best possible way. With a less convincing performer, this one would just fall apart under the strain of how unusual it is. That being said, I do worry that the various different phrases of the song somewhat might lack intra-cohesion. In a way, it seems to jump around between different concepts and pretend that the charm of it doing that is as strong of an aspect as the rest of its non-conformities. In other words, there are times where I wonder if the song fully understands that some rules can be broken to good artistic effect, while other rules only exist because disobeying them isn't satisfying to the ear. I wonder about that because this song seems to do both kind of indiscriminately, you feel? But how this looks as LTV's response to the cancellation of last year's contest. I mean, I don't get why they left it so late to reveal the song, but they did good in my books. If memory serves, Still Breathing, their entry last year, was one of the first to be chosen in the 2020 season, and it was quite early at that. So quite why they decided to leave it until days before the deadline to reveal the song title, never mind the entire song as a whole, I really don't know. In the grand scheme of things though, it doesn't matter. Supernova is still a growing and developing format. It was only introduced in 2015, so I could understand if the broadcast might have been eager to utilise it once again this year to select their act, but they didn't. Very early on, they clearly, in no uncertain terms, stated their intention to uphold Samanta's 2020 victory at Supernova in the form of sending her again, and it seems like they left her to get on with the song ever since. Judging by a snippet of vocals from several months ago now, the track itself has actually been around for a hot while, but I don't know, maybe they had a specific release plan in mind for this one? Whatever the case, same singer working with more or less the same people as last year, and that's a good reaction as far as I'm concerned. But in the here and now and looking forwards, will Samanta bring Latvia back into the grand final this year? My gut instinct says yes, my brain says I'm not so sure just yet. It's certainly the sort of unexpected heavy hitter that, a few years ago, could easily have stormed in and walked into the final. But at this point in time, I don't know. Its pure bizarre factor might put a lot of people off, which obviously would hurt its chances of qualifying. But then again, it's in semi-final too, and it's pretty much the only song in this year's lineup that could perform after Finland, as it's scheduled to, and not suffer for it at least a bit. It'll definitely leave an impression, and I expect the public vote to respond to it as a result. As for whether or not that will be enough to overcome the appeal of some of the more normal entries in that show, I couldn't say. This wouldn't be out of place in the final, but a non-qualification wouldn't surprise me either, but then again, it's a strong female vocalist like several others in the show, but it's not the same sort of banger bop as the other female-led up-tempo Yas Queen situations, so could qualify, could not, nothing would surprise me at this point. So, as ever, I will ask the biggest brain that I know, and that is the collective that is my audience. Listen to the song for yourself. If you feel like sharing your opinions, let me know what those opinions are, and if not, then I respect your right to keep to yourself. In the meantime, to Samanta, to Aminata, to Team Latvia on the whole, I wish you the very best of luck, and I look forward to seeing what you bring to the stage in Rotterdam.